Sean Hannity has to fill a lot of air every day, and so he doesn't always get his facts exactly right. But there's one lie that he told on his radio show recently, which is basically just a repeat of a smear that was debunked all the way back in 2019 that he's just bringing back. It's yet another reboot for the modern day, and it has to involve his most recent attack against Representative Rashida Tlaib. Here is what he said.
Joe Biden is now keeping his promise to Congresswoman Tlaib. You know, Congresswoman Tlaib's greatest hits include her 2019 outburst that she gets a calming feeling every time she thinks of the Holocaust. Why would Joe Biden be taking consult from her? Because that's virulent anti-Semitism. So you got like a Holocaust lover in Congress advising the president on Israeli policy. You can't have any more ass backwards than this.
Well, he was sort of right at the end. It cannot be more ass backwards than what he just said in that video. He just labeled a congresswoman a lover of the Holocaust. So I have to assume with a charge that extreme, you would want to be sure that what you were saying was grounded in the facts, that you had the right read of what she said. I mean, she had an outburst where she said that she loved the Holocaust. That's really something. But it turns out, no, it's a complete lie. It was shown to be a lie back in 2019. So we want to show you exactly what she said. This is the outburst that the Holocaust lover, as he said. Here is what was actually said by Rashida Tlaib.
I think 2 weeks ago or so, we celebrated, it took a moment, I think, in our country to remember the Holocaust. And there's a kind of a calming feeling I always tell folks when I think of the Holocaust and the tragedy of the Holocaust and the fact that it was my ancestors, Palestinians, who lost their land and some lost their lives, their livelihood, the human dignity, their existence in many ways have been wiped out, and some people's passport. I mean, just all of it was in the name of trying to create a safe haven for Jews post the Holocaust, post the tragedy and horrific persecution of Jews across the world at that time. And I love the fact that it was my ancestors that provided that, right? In many ways.
Beyond that, just being as far away from an outburst as I can conceive of, she said that it was a tragedy and horrific persecution of the Jews. She talked about the calming feeling. The common feeling was not that there was a Holocaust. It's that from that tragedy, her ancestors were able to help in some fashion. Look, you might disagree with a little bit of the history potentially, but she is in no way, Ida, saying that she loves the Holocaust. That is an insane, purposefully deceptive, like smear gets thrown around. You bring up any inconvenient thing that a person has said and they call it a smear, even if you're literally just quoting them. That said, if anything is a smear, this is an insane, dishonest smear.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. First of all, when we refer to Sean Hannity from here on out, let us refer to him as television personality Sean Hannity, because we all know that he's not a journalist, and what he does is what do you call it? He sets things on fires for ratings, followers, to sell books, and to capitalize on the people who blindly listen to him or without knowing that he is just doing what he's doing for ratings. He does not do this because he's actually doing research. He is a television personality. He is just like a housewife in Orange County. He's no different than, one of the basketball wives, one of the people from Jersey Shore, and people have to maintain perspective because that is what he is. He is a television personality. Just because he wears a suit and is at a place called Fox News does not mean that he's a credible source. And a lot of times the things that people you see on those reality shows, because that's what his show is, they do a lot of inflammatory talking because what they want to do is they want to trend, they want to sell books, they want to buy new clothes, they want to have nice houses, that which he has. The other thing that I want to say is I really don't know many people. I don't know any people who celebrate the Holocaust. And for some reason, like I said, this all lives matter approach to just championing the lives and the humanity of Palestinian people, somehow becoming this a part of this anti-Semitic agenda is crazy to me. So I don't know what to say. I went to the Holocaust Museum in Israel. I sat in the children's museum, and I was escorted out because it was horrible to see just pictures of babies that were killed during the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And to be able to hold the space for these Palestinian children who lost their families, who've lost their lives, imagine like if there was a place where they called out all the names of all the Black children that died in the Holocaust as a result of the transatlantic slave trade, all of it. It just makes me so upset that so many children have had to lose their lives over the evil of grown-ups. And so I will say that we need to make sure that we properly frame the words that come out of the mouths of these television personalities while they try to get ratings for their reality shows, and not allow those people to drive conversations about the real things that are happening in the world. And I will continue to urge people to seek information from credible sources, because those people like that will drive you to hate and liberal when you are surrounded constantly by people that you hate and you think hate you.
Yeah. Well, and we have these personalities that use their platforms to try to drive people to hate others based on lies. So, I mean, I don't know how many people listen to his radio show. I imagine it's a lot, probably. It's a lot of people. And I imagine not 1 in 500 is gonna go be like, wow, Holocaust lover, that seems really extreme. Wouldn't that have hurt her in the primary? Oh, I gotta check into that. I don't think many will do that, unfortunately. And it wasn't difficult. It's there. As I said, this was already fact-checked and adjudicated back in 2019. But the damage at that point was already done. And by the way, I love this little throw. Like, so Liz Cheney, we've been pointing out that she was right on January 6th, but she's also terrible. Let's give you an example of how terrible she is. Back in 2019, she put out a press release titled "Statement from House GOP Conference Chair Liz Cheney on Representative Tlaib saying the Holocaust gives her a quote calming feeling." So she was a part of the lie. Sean Hannity, we have like no expectations of. Liz Cheney, I guess we shouldn't have any expectations of her too. She called the remarks sickening and accused Ms. Tlaib and other Democrats of spreading vile anti-Semitism. When she said that the Holocaust was a tragedy and terrible persecution of Jews worldwide. Mr. Scalise, leader in the Republican Party in the House as well, followed suit, calling her comments twisted and disgusting. Then Donald Trump, you know what? Not even gonna read it, but he got involved in it. Basically just trying to get as many of their followers to hate and fear Rashida Tlaib as much as possible. At the time, she tweeted, "Policing my words, twisting and turning them to ignite vile attacks on me will not work. All of you who are trying to silence me will fail miserably. I will never allow you to take my words out of context to push your racist and hateful agenda. The truth will always win." And unfortunately, 2 years later, almost on the anniversary, they're trying to do it again because they hate her and they fear her, and especially they don't like the fact that she represents a group that they care nothing about in Congress, that she'll give speeches supporting human rights, calling for less civilian deaths. They hate that about her. And so Sean Hannity, spreading insane, obvious lies.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.